I'm walking in this snow. I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna do a walking marathon today. But I'm walking in the snow. I have on the latest technology you can have on. My tights, they're fleece lined, 3-pair wool socks. I have on a few different layers of dry fit material. I have 2 hoodies on, pair of gloves. And I can't help but think how some people, they don't like fur. They don't like when people wear fur. But it just makes me think, walking through the snow, of the Inuit, of the person who they lived this life. Not in no city like this where you got a grocery store, but they were hunter-gatherers. And that's a key expression, hunter-gatherers. They could only gather what was available. And they used the ice for drinking water. They used the ice for shelter, igloo. They used the ice to learn how to hunt and gather so that they could survive. And one of the biggest things they used was fur. Fur, hide, animals in order to survive. And I just have mental clarity in this moment and perspective, because people that don't like fur being used, they don't like animals being harmed, they couldn't live in a time like that. But there are people still to this day that live like that. So it don't matter where you at on a debate. It's nothing to debate. It's nothing to debate when that is your life and you need fur to survive, to stay warm. These gloves were almost $70, and I could tell you right now, they would make it in a lot of climates. This must have been a coyote right here. If you look at the trail, it had to be a coyote. How you like that? Read the snow. Read the snow. I'm doing this adventure of walking a marathon. I'm not even prepared for this. I'm going into the unknown, not even prepared. I have an apple that my mama gave me, a Honeycrisp, and I had this Perrier bottle of water and electrolytes. And I'm not afraid. I'm not terrified. I'm not scared. I'm not like, oh my God, I got to get this. I got to get that. It's just about human will and endurance and survival. Now I could have planned for this, but my plan was just to walk to the levee, which is 2 to 3 miles, depending on how the route I take. My plan was just to walk to the levee and then walk back home. But I was about maybe 1,000 feet from the levee. And I'm like, bro, why don't you just do your walking marathon today? And then that way, you could take that and check that off your list. Because I can't ride my bike on the levee. I'm going to ride it stationary when I get back home. It don't matter what time it is. I got to get my 20 miles on a bicycle. Because today is 108. But I'm just in a reflective mindset that even though we have the ability to have an opinion or to have a view, our view should never become dogmatic, where our view destroys the life of other people. You can feel how you feel, but it shouldn't destroy the life of other people, unless it just boils down to right and wrong. But in a world filled with so many variations and amendments, what is right, what is wrong, But anyway, my original thought was, for people that have a problem with fur being used, I understand your argument, and I'm not one that likes animals being hurt. I'm not one that likes animals being suffering or being treated where they're suffering. I do think you should be responsible with animals, because it is life. It was created for a purpose. And I'm not saying the purpose of them being created was for you to have a fur, a mink, a buffalo. I'm not saying that. So, but I do think that for people that live a certain lifestyle, they should be able to use, how you like that? Some more little tracks. I'd have to see them again to tell what it is. But this is very interesting to me. And I hope it don't slow me down too much. But right now it's very interesting. You know, I never walked in snow before in my life. I'm 43 years old. And so I had to come on this adventure because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me personally. And I'm very thankful and appreciative to be here and to see my great city under snow, you know. The Twins. Man, look at this big crater, you know. One small step for man. But this is amazing to me, you know. But whenever you're out in nature and you're walking and you're doing dumb stuff like being underprepared to walk a marathon by yourself, you know, it's like, man, just taking these moments to gain more understanding about life, about yourself, about your goals in life, you know, and about how you could be a better person. And also about being less opinionated, you know, about being less opinionated. We have enough opinions in this world that are really hurting people, you know. Like that sound. You might take that sound for granted, but that crunching, ice cracking sound right there, I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I've heard that watching certain YouTube videos, but I've never experienced that till yesterday and today in the 43 years I've been on this earth. So that's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. You know, but I wanted to make this video just so we could reflect on moments to see if we're being better people or if we're not. And you see that thing right there? This thing is so amazing because this thing right here, it keeps us alive. This stuff right here keeps us alive. And I don't know where the moon at. It's back here somewhere in the west, but it keeps us alive. So don't take stuff for granted, especially creation. You know, please don't take it for granted because it keeps us alive. It keeps us going. These systems that were put into place, they're priceless. They're worth more than all of the name brand stuff. And I'll tell you a little funny story just right now. So there's this little white mound right here. And because of a lot of the shows I've watched on YouTube, thanks to all of these content creators that make videos that we find interesting. But I thought that little white thing right there was a ptarmigan. And if you don't know what a ptarmigan is, I believe there's two different kinds. One of them is all white. And they hang around in the snowbanks, you know? And so they'll be quiet and you walk up and then they'll just fly away like a mourning dove does. But I really thought that was a ptarmigan. I have been transported up north somewhere, whether it's Canada or the, you know, northern portion of my country, you know. I've been transported. This is crazy, man. I'm in New Orleans. I don't know if you know, maybe it's not a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to me. Like, this is New Orleans. You know, this is New Orleans. This is my city. This your city too. This our city. And I'm walking on a levee. I rode over this bridge so many times. This is the original bridge right here. I've rode over this bridge so many times. I was a little boy when they built this bridge right here. And they used to have a gondola, I think that's how you say it, and it ran across the whole river, you know? And I used to tell my dad, like, I wanted to ride in that thing, you know? But anyway, take these moments to reflect, and take these moments to reconnect, and take these moments to be better people, more conscious people, conscious of others. Our opinion is not the only way to live. It's not the only way to live. And it's okay for two people to do it different, even though they're working to the same goal. And I think that that's something that I'm trying to apply this year. Last year, I was really trying to work on being grateful and appreciative and thankful, you know. And I think this year, I'm really going to try to work on not being so opinionated and also embracing diversity, because through diversity, you get growth. Now, I've always wanted to make this video, and I never could. So it might be a little long. That's the Twins. This is the Ernest Morial Convention Center. And this is the Riverwalk. And we'll get a little closer and I'll talk a little more. But anyway, so stop and get in the moment of where you're at in reality, because that'll help you with where you're at, being present in mind, you know. And this is really just amazing. To be in this situation right now is really amazing. I've seen hundreds of hours of YouTube videos of people in the snow living, living. And I was always amazed by that. And you see all these tracks, somebody had fun. Somebody had fun.